Capcom! Let's go!
Ready?
Let's do this! Yeah! Take this! Mega Man, powered up! Must continue!
Mega Man, powered up!
Greetings and salutations everyone, Crimson Nero here, and welcome to Let's Play Mega Man Powered Up. Originally released for the Sony PlayStation Portable, this is an enhanced remake of the original Mega Man for the NES, which originally released on December 17th, 1987 for both Japan and North America. Europe would get it a couple years later. That was the original. However, we are playing the PSP remake, Mega Man Powered Up, which originally released on March 2nd, 2006 in Japan, March 14th, 2006 in North America, and March 24th, 2006 for Europe. So, without any further ado, let's begin the adventures of the Blue Bomber himself, Mega Man, or Rockman if you so prefer. Now, let's rock! Alright, so when it comes to Mega Man Powered Up, we have new style and old style. Old style is basically, it is a pretty much carbon copy of the original Mega Man's layout, just with updated graphics. So if you're looking for that old school style, but just with a little bit more of a new school aesthetic and look to it, then old style is totally for you. But I'm going for new style, which includes a story.
The year 2000X. With the advancement of science, humans were able to create industrial humanoid robots. A helper robot by the name of Mega
Or Rock.
lived peacefully in the labs of the foremost authority in robotics, Dr. Light. But then, one day...
Oh no, not the dreaded ellipses.
I've been looking all over for you, Mega. We've got a big problem.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. The name's Wily, the one and only, the brilliant scientist, Dr. Wily. It may seem rather sudden to you, but I've decided I'd like to take over the world! Anyway, to begin, Dr. Light, I'll be taking your precious robots.
I didn't know that 3D technology was this good.
That is to say, what's this? A helper robot? You're just a pile of scrap metal with no special abilities.
Our friends are in trouble, Mega. Let's hurry to the lab.
Alrighty, so a little bit of, so not only do we get a little bit of extra story put into this remake, but also we get to see everything with 3D graphics and 2D gameplay style as the original. But we're actually starting out with an intro stage, and we actually don't really start out as Mega Man quite yet. We actually start as Mega or Rock.
Just as I promised, Dr. Light, I'll be taking them with me.
Stop, Dr. Wily. Stop, I say.
Farewell!
Wait! Stop, Dr. Wily! What insanity! Using my robots to conquer the world!
Professor, please, change me into a fighting robot.
Mega?
But what?
What are you saying, my child?
Please, I really want to help everyone, but I don't know if I'm strong enough yet.
I have a strong sense of justice!
All right, I understand. I don't like it, but sometimes such things must be done. I must make the necessary preparations. Roll, could you please assist me?
Time for Henshin a Go-Go, baby! As Mega becomes... clad in blue armor!
I've adapted your arm cannon so you can acquire your opponent's abilities. They will then become your own, and you will be free to use them.
Well, Professor, here I go.
Listen, Mega. No, rather, Mega Man. Yes, that's it. From this moment on, you shall be Mega Man.
Let's go.
Rad. So yeah, in the Japanese version, he's known as Rock, Rock/Rockman, which is actually a little tiny musical pun considering Rock and then his sister, the girl with, the girl that was in that cutscene, whose name is Roll. So, rock and roll, haha. I love musical references like that, and the series continues to have them throughout the series. I mean, musical references are reasons why I like Mega Man. Well, there's many reasons why I like Mega Man, but I also enjoy musical references in things like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and Guilty Gear, two of my absolute favorite franchises of all, which has tons of musical references all over the place, and Mega Man's no different. So, Mega Man. Typical run-and-gun action on the NES that, obviously, we're playing the remake, but just a classic game that honestly just helped pave the way for a great franchise.
Warning! You follow me? I don't have time to fool around with the likes of you! You can play with this!
Alrighty, so the boss of the intro stage is none other than this big guy right here, known as Proto-Eye. In the original Mega Man, there wasn't actually an intro stage of any kind. It just booted you right to the level select screen. But later on, with the introduction of the Mega Man X series, they decided that it would be a good idea to have an intro stage. And then later on, they decided, hey, let's remake Mega Man 1 and have some of the elements that certain Mega Man fans have grown to know in the X series, in the ZX series, in the Zero series, just the intro stage basically. Because obviously it's nice to have a tutorial basically, and one that allows you to learn the concepts of the game without necessarily a ton of text saying, here's how you play the game. I mean, basically all you need to know is that you move, you jump, you shoot, and when you defeat Robot Masters, you get their powers.
I'm counting on you.
So yes, we have 8 different Robot Masters here that we have to deal with. We have Cutman, Gutsman, Bombman, Elecman, Fireman, and Iceman. All 6 of those guys were part of the original set of 6 in the NES original. However, later on, from Mega Man 2 and onwards, we had 8 Robot Masters per game, and in the remake, they decided to add in Time Man and Oil Man. So yes, they decided to keep certain aspects of the original Mega Man game alive, but they also added some new things as well. But to keep things pretty classic, I'm gonna go with my favorite guy to start with, good old Cutman.
I'll finish this. Ready?
See, when the original Mega Man came out, and you started up on the character select screen to pick whatever stage you wanted to go to first, it was rather revolutionary at the time. A lot of games were rather linear in the fact that you started on level 1, when you beat that, you went to level 2, and so on and so forth. However, when Mega Man came around, that was a time where the idea of giving a player choice in their level progression wasn't very common. Obviously nowadays, it's pretty common to have games that allow you to go down several different paths, either to pick stage A or stage B at a fork in the road, or other things as well. I mean, heck, there are open world RPGs that give you tons and tons of choice about where you want to go next. But in terms of the original Mega Man, you got to start basically wherever you wanted. You could have gone to any of the 6 stages in any order you wanted. However, for a lot of people, because this was such a foreign concept to them, they just hit the start button, and the cursor, by default, was on our good old pal, Cutman. So, when I played the NES original, that's who I always picked. So, I gotta keep that tradition alive and powered up. I mean, Cutman's cool. So, there's a lot of Mega Man games, and I'll say this: while I'm okay at playing the classic series, the further down the line we get, probably the better I'm going to be. I'll probably be the most rusty with the classic series. But once we get to things like the X series, the ZX, the Zero series, the ZX series, the Battle Network and Star Force games, definitely you'll start to see a shift because there are some games in there as the timeline progresses of the Mega Man franchise that there are some games that I put a lot more time into than others, and there are games that I just have only played a few times, but I have a general understanding of. I'm not the best Mega Man player out there, at least for the classic series, but I definitely will be able to get through this game on normal mode. Because, trust me, the original Mega Man is hard. It's one of those games that helped define Nintendo hard back in the day. Games like the original Mega Man, and games like Castlevania's 1, 2, and 3, mainly 1 and 3, the Ninja Gaiden, Mario 2, The Lost Levels, which didn't even originally come out in America. Instead, we got Super Mario Bros. 2 USA, or the reskin of Doki Doki Panic that we got, but I'm getting a little off track here. For right now, let's get back to Mega Man. Now, I really like a lot of the enemies in Mega Man, but I do not remember all of their names. At times, you might actually hear me saying and I call an enemy by their actual name, which sometimes is actually quite the miracle because sometimes I can't remember like almost any of them. But there is an enemy right up here that I do remember quite fondly. And that's this guy, which kind of looks like the intro stage boss. You know, Proto Eye? Well, this guy is called Big Eye, who, instead of being he's smaller than Proto Eye, but you can only hit him while his eye is open. He's for the most part, he'll be at the ends of stages towards the boss doors. But I always like to get rid of him because it's another obstacle out of the way, as well as the fact that it's just someone that you can also sometimes get big health from him.
Brother? I can't believe it! Dr. Wily was right. You've changed into a bad robot. Cutman, what's going on?
You're an evil fighting robot now. I'm gonna stop you, Mr. Mega Man, and make you good again. Cutting it up.
Alrighty, time to fight against Cutman. Now, Cutman is kind of weak to the standard Mega Buster. However, if you look at those two big blocks on the left side there's a weapon that you get later from a different boss that you can actually use to pick up those big blocks and throw them at enemies, and Cutman takes a lot of damage from them. However, I don't have that weapon, so I have to use the standard Mega Buster. Now, new to Powered Up, bosses, at least from normal mode and onwards, get a critical attack. When their health gets to a certain point, typically after they hit the 50% mark, they get a brand new attack that's really powerful, and sometimes it requires you to really think on your feet. For Cutman, it's a matter of he enlarges his blade, throws it forward, it travels all the way to the wall, scales up the wall, then starts to return, goes back down, and then returns all the way. So you gotta basically jump over, run immediately to the wall, and kind of follow the blade as it starts to climb up the wall, and then once it comes back down, you'll be out of the way. But yeah, we got the Rolling Cutter, which is a brand new weapon for us.
Mercy and kindness, I can repair these robots.
Oh, sweet.
Goodness. Right, Mega?
Absolutely.
You defeated my robots without destroying them and brought them home. It's all thanks to your efforts. You're a great help.
Also new to Mega Man Powered Up, if you defeat any of the 8 Robot Masters by only using the Mega Bus, the typical Pea Shooter, the regular Buster, if you defeat them only using that, not using any other special weapons at all, even to do like a single point of damage, if you only hit with the standard Buster, you can unlock that character as a playable character, which is great. However, obviously, because of Mega Man's special ability of being able to copy everyone else's powers upon defeating them, obviously, he has the biggest arsenal compared to all the other Robot Masters, which makes his campaign pretty much kind of the easiest, but all the other characters have their own special abilities that allow them to be a little bit different compared to Mega Man, such as either improved versions of the weapons that he already gains, or even special new abilities. For example, Cutman, who we just unlocked, has the ability to do a wall jump, which we won't be able to see the likes of until basically Mega Man X. Other characters will have stronger weapons, will have different ways of getting around, and can even access different parts of levels. The level design has been remodeled in ways that allows all Robot Masters to actually be able to go through the level. So if you're very well trained in the classic original Mega Man, things might seem familiar yet completely different for you, which is great. And that even though Mega Man Powered Up didn't do so well in terms of sales, I feel like it did a lot of things very well. I mean, you added new aspects of the story so that people could actually understand what was going on. You added 3D models. I mean, not saying that the 2D graphics were bad, but definitely there are a lot of improvements to the gameplay and level design that obviously came with more and more Mega Man games. But the fact that this came out like 20 years, pretty much 20 years after the original did, obviously there's a lot of stuff that got improved. One of the biggest things is the fact that you see those you saw those spikes that we just passed over in the original game. If you got hit by an enemy and then got hit into the spikes, even in the invincibility frames, you would still get destroyed by the spikes. That's something that is only exclusive to the original Mega Man, and does not transfer over to any of the other games in the entire classic franchise. Now you see that little pink, you saw the little pink like pickup that was up there? That is an enemy pack. Another thing that was introduced in Mega Man Powered Up was the ability to build your own levels. It was basically Super Mario Maker before Super Mario Maker. And yes, I understand that recently there has been the creation of Mega Maker, which is kind of like a Super Mario Maker, but for Mega Man. But they kind of already, Capcom kind of already did it with this game. And so when you go around the levels, you can sometimes pick up either enemy packs or construction packs, thus allowing you to have more and more content that you can use to build your stages. Such as, like, hey, you can unlock that sniper drill that just hit me into the door. Okay. Also, another thing that I really enjoy is the fact that you can clearly see where checkpoints are, which I think is a fantastic addition. But I'll be quiet now because we got a boss!
Don't run off. Let's have a little fun with my explosives.
Bomb Man, that's really dangerous. Stop setting off bombs.
You should have come the day before yesterday. I had some big boom booms then. Don't cry now.
Alright, and we're going up against Bomb Man! Now, normally, Bomb Man, at least in Powered Up, is weak to the Rolling Cutter, Cutman's weapon. However, because of the ability to, and the opportunity to unlock Robot Masters as playable characters, I am only going to be using the Mega Buster on this boss and every other boss that comes after him. Now, this super attack that he has two variations. There's the one that he just did where the bomb bounces multiple times, but then there's one where he holds it in place for a while and then throws it, and then it'll just explode once it hits the floor. He, depending on what he says, it'll help you kind of identify exactly which one of the two attacks he's going to be doing. All right, and with that, we've defeated Bomb Man. And our new ability is the Hyper Bomb. All right. Oh yeah, I completely forgot. One of the additions that we've had to help with the storytelling, as well as just a few other things involving Mega Man Powered Up, is that we have voice acting. I've completely forgotten to go over exactly who plays who. But at least for the characters that we've met so far, Mega Man is played by Cole Howard, Dr. Light is played by Randall Weeb, Roll is played by Angie Beers. Dr. Wily is played by Dean Galloway. Cutman is played by Eleanor Hort. And Bombman is played by Ryan Stockard. Anyways, that's going to end off things for this episode of Let's Play Mega Man Powered Up. I'm Crimson Nero. Thank you very much for watching. And until next time, everyone, fare thee well.